Oh, here we go. Hello. So we have this big artwork here. Let me switch that off. Where we have a new guest for today. Welcome to another episode of ODNT Spotlight. And we have a new guest with us today, Nicole Ales. And she's bringing her new illustrated script series, Episode 1 of Destiny of the Marked, which is her Season 1, Episode 1 for that. And she's also, as well as a writer, an illustrator, and she has other artwork here. One of her favorite that she's done, and she says is one of her most popular, is she did an artwork here around the television show Supernatural. And we talked a little bit before the show about that. We both seem to love this show. It's a really good show. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about her. So let's go ahead and let's switch on over. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Okay.
Oh, good. Well, let's start off with, everybody that creates something. That's certainly not what they're teaching us in school and everything. So how did you get started on becoming an illustrator? When you first sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to draw.
Okay, well, I can start out this like everybody else does. I started drawing when I was a kid. So I would doodle all the time, and I would write little stories, usually about horses as a kid. Even though I never had a horse, I liked horses.
Girls and their horses. And then they become unicorns when you start getting into fantasy,
they became right? Pegasus is probably.
Pegasus?
Yeah, they can fly. So yeah, I always did that stuff as a kid, and I drew a lot in high school. But then I thought, once I went to college, I was like, art, you have no way to make that a career out of that. I'm going to go into film. And then,
there you go. That one will make you a lot of money.
Yeah, I went to school, and I went over to Cal State Northridge, and I did film studies. Well, not film studies. I did film production, and I was emphasis in editing. So I actually did post-production for a little bit. And I had some internships after college, like getting the coffee and watching stuff to make sure nothing failed, but mostly coffee.
Did you get any coffee for anybody we know?
No.
No? Nobody big? No Steven Spielberg, here's your latte?
Yeah, the coolest thing that we had at the place that I was interning at was Project Runway. They were like putting it together.
Oh yeah,
but like the off-brand one, so like Project like All Stars Runway. Yeah, so they were doing like little things like that. They were a really small post house. They had maybe like 10, 15 people there. So then while I was there for like about 6-7 months, I was kind of like doodling all the time, and I was working on Destiny of the Marked at some point. And at one point I was like, you know what, I'm going to do art, because I seem to be getting these like kids illustration like gigs, even though I had no training at that point really for art. So I was like, I seem to be getting more money for art, so I'm going to switch over there. And then like my GM was like, that's a good idea, you should do that. As they all take home like little sketches that I would do of Disney characters. Like they would take
nice.
Kids. So I made the transfer, and then I went to Noman School of Visual Effects, which had a lot more, had some basic art classes too, and it was like the closest one to me.
Oh, okay.
So like an hour and a half in traffic.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad. So on Sundays in the morning, it was 30 minutes, so that was fine.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the other ones were further away for me. But yeah, so I went there for like a year and a half, and then after that, I tried to make it on my own and still break into the film and video game industry and do like concept design or being a PA or anything, and that didn't happen. So I moved back home last year to kind of save money and doing freelance and working at Starbucks. I get free coffee, so that's fine.
Free coffee, and you make all the little designs and the cappuccinos and.
I try, but they kind of just end up looking like balls, like of foam.
Blobs of foam.
It's really hard. Yeah. So I pretty much kind of steered over to art, but I was always kind of in the arts. So yeah, they kind of all meld into one, in my opinion.
So you started out doodling all the time, so it doesn't sound like you have a problem with the blank canvas.
Not really. So like, not really. No.
No. So no blank canvas block.
Not really.
The equivalent of
writer's block a lot, but not blank canvas block. I'll just usually doodle something random. Like, oh look, a blank canvas, I'll draw an eyeball.
So were you the kid that I always got my textbook after the next year that was doodled all in the margins of the books? And
sorry. Actually, I would like do that thing where you would cover your textbooks with like
Oh, right, with the paper.
bags.
Uh-huh.
So then you could draw on the cover.
And by the end of the year, your cover, you couldn't see brown paper bag anywhere, right?
Yeah, and then like your notebooks, like they had like this much note, and then like the rest of the page is just noodles. Or like it would be notes on Destiny of the March, because I was writing it since I was like in high school, technically, I guess.
So you've been working on this one for a long time.
Yeah, but the one in high school was more like a Lord of the Rings fan fiction. It didn't really start to become what it was till I was like 19, so kind of. Not even. It was maybe like 5% of what it was.
So you worked on the other 95%.
Yeah.
And Destiny of the Mark, your first one. So you're actually doing something new. I'm sure it may have been out there before, but
yeah,
I don't hear about it very often.
So I've bought scripts from shows. Like I have like a book of like Buffy scripts, in which that's what I use to kind of base my formatting, because Joss Whedon is a god among nerds. So in my opinion, so I used his how he formatted stuff, and I really liked it. Pretty much anything that I've seen that's an illustrated script book is always something that's already been done. So like I have a Batman one, and they included storyboards, and they have all the scripts in a book. But nothing that I've ever seen anything done that's new. That's not something that's already been produced by a studio or anything.
So basically originally created as an illustrated script. So rather than writing a novel.
Yeah.
Because you're a doodler.
Yeah. That,
not the wordsmith. You're the doodler. And so you write the script, and then you create the artwork for it, almost like a storyboarding?
Yeah, I storyboard, and then, like, I have the book on me.
Oh, hey, yeah, hold that up.
Let me go to a page. Let's go. So, like, I did storyboards, and then I did, like, the character designs. So that's the character.
Wow.
And, let's see. Just for this one, I had some of her costumes for stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Doop-a-doo. So I have like the actual mark design, and then I have like the. Sorry, I can't do this. I have like the creature design still sitting there, and I got some like environments and props and stuff like that.
So you basically replicated your high school notebook with a little bit of writing and a lot of doodles all over it.
Yeah, storyboards. So.
Wow. Well, I tell you
I can't get a job on a show, and I definitely can't produce my own show because I don't have the funds and the connections.
It's expensive to make a movie or a television show. I did a 90-minute action adventure feature available on DVD, and it was awful.
Yeah.
You know?
I did parodies in college. Like, I got my friends together when we were home. So, like, I was the only one that had, like, film experience at all, and I had, like, no equipment. Like, I had a camera. And we made parodies of, like, Twilight, and we put in Harry Potter and, like, all this other stuff.
Well,
so, like, that's the poster, like, sitting over there in the corner.
Are these videos that you guys made?
Yeah, I made, like, little movies.
Have you uploaded them to YouTube?
They're on YouTube.
Oh!
Yeah, they're
so everybody, pause this movie. Go look.
They're called the Edward Potter parodies. And so, like, the first one's called, like, Parody a Love Story. And then the second one's called Satire a Breakup Story. And the last one's called Farce Breaking Wind. But it has, like, no resemblance, really, to, like, the Breaking Dawn movie. Pretty much just, like, we're just going to have fun because this is definitely going to be our last go because we're all graduating college and getting jobs and stuff. So
moving on and moving
out.
Just
like, screw it. We're going to put zombies in it and, like, dance numbers. Did, like, a thriller. Like,
oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'll have to hunt those down.
It was really fun, but it was just to coordinate my friends by myself and doing all that work. I pretty much did everything but act. It was very stressful. And I was like, I need a producer to, like, help me do stuff and, like, a bunch of other people. So that's why.
Yep, wrangle the cats.
Yeah, that's why Destiny of the March is not, like, a web series. It's not gonna, unless somebody can help me make it, then it's not going to do that.
Well, yeah, it's a play to your strengths. Your strengths are writing the script and doing all the artwork for it.
Yeah, I figured it could also be like a pitch book that I can like throw at producers. So
yeah, I can tell you the listings on Amazon do not give it the oomph that, you know, when you held that book up and you flipped through, I'm like, whoa!
I don't know how to fix that, like to make it look cooler than it is. Like
it's not designed for that. It's not designed for the colorful illustrated book that you have.
Yeah.
You know, Amazon's really all about the straight text. Boom. You know, that's a Kindle. Yeah. Kindle's great with straight text. Doesn't handle pictures very well.
Yeah, for like the Kindle version, they had to like take those beautiful art spreads and they had to like chop up the pictures individually and put them in there. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do that, guys. And they're like, sorry. And I was like,
I know that Kindle has started a new software for making illustrated books for children.
okay.
That's to make a Kindle book that hopefully you're able to design as well as you designed your paperback.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, so after we're done with this, we'll talk more about that, see if I can get you some information on that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great, yeah, because you definitely want to have the ebook look just as good as that print book.
Yeah, because like I looked on like iBook or whatever the heck that app is on your iPad, and I just put the PDF in, and I've like looked at it that way, and I'm like, why can't we just do it like that? Why can't we just download the PDF? It's fine.
There you go.
Why do I need the free flow text? I don't understand. So, yeah.
Amazon's its own beast. They're like, we do things our way.
I kind of want to like, I can't pay people for reviews, but I'm thinking about like giving them artwork if they review my book.
Oh.
Because like I'm just like sitting there with no reviews, and there's like 5 other books that are by different people, and they're all like self-published within the last 2 years. Because I didn't check this in the last 2 years, and they're called Marked by Destiny, and I was like,
so close.
None of them are the same as mine, like the story wise, and I'm just like, why? Oh well, that's fine.
But on that same respect, where you're trying to be an artist and make a living at this, you have something that you do. You're one of the few artists that I've actually talked to that has started actually doing this, and I'll put that up right there. You're on Patreon.
Yep.
And everything. So I'll put the link down in the description. So if you're watching this video embedded, just there's a little button down there that says watch on YouTube. Go ahead and click on that, and it will give then you can look at the description underneath the video, and I'll have a link to Nicole's Patreon site, and you can go ahead and start throwing her $1 or so a month, or $1 million a month. Hey, there you go. And then you can make Destiny of the Mark a movie.
Yeah, or just keep it going.
There you go. And just go ahead and take a look at her Patreon site. Check it out and see if she's one of the patrons of the arts you want to become a patron for and everything. We're bringing back the old Renaissance days.
Kind of.
Who would have thunk it, huh? Who would have thunk it?
With computers.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. Patreon.
Yep. So Patreon, that's a pretty good site. I've signed up for it, but I don't know what to do with it yet. I haven't asked for anything from anybody. I haven't even published anything. I just don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah.
But you've got it.
People just like use it to be like, oh, I'll like give you copies of my fan art or something. So yeah, there's like one girl on there who's been doing stuff for a long time, and she's pretty good, but she's mostly looks like fan art. But she makes like her little Patreon says that she makes like $32,000 every 2 weeks, and I'm like, what?
Oh, fair.
How is? Can I have some of that? Like just like 500 of that. Like that's.
I don't want all of it.
Just want some. Yeah. So hopefully the Patreon will eventually grow enough for me to basically live off of it, so I won't have to do part-time jobs, and then I can just do Destiny of the March and then the other series that are sitting in a folder on my computer of like projects to do after that.
Right. So. And I really like the hashtag you did for it called hashtag Funding Destiny.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully people won't give me money.
Yeah. And then, definitely check out Nicole's website. She has got, under her portfolio section, tons of artwork that she's done. You can start giving that out for Patreon supporters. There you go.
Yeah, I can give like digital copies because it's all Photoshop, so I can't give out originals, but yeah.
Oh, that makes it the original in Photoshop.
I have a weird problem with giving people my Photoshop file, mainly because it's just all over the place.
Oh, export it as a JPEG.
Yeah, just a JPEG. They can have the JPEG, that's fine, as long as they don't like bootleg it or something. But yeah, some people give away their Photoshop file, and I'm like, no.
No, because then they can start changing things.
Yeah, I always worry about that, even though I haven't really had it happen to me yet.
That's
really.
Like saying, here's my portrait that I painted, and here's all the paint I used to make it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, well, then they're going to change it on you. So, Destiny of the Mark, this is episode 1 of the series, and it just came out
Yeah.
Less than a month ago, it looks like.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's brand new out. How long did it take you? Because there's an awful lot of artwork in that.
All right. So once upon a time. So I've been writing the story for a very long time, and it's taken a bunch of different forms. Like, I guess the form that it is now, when it first started to kind of really be that, was when I was in college and I was doing my first screenwriting class, but it was still pretty different from what it is now. And so it's been like, at least, I guess, I graduated from college in 2011, so it's been a while. Like, I was writing it technically like in high school, so almost 10 years maybe. But yeah, yeah, so I've been working on it for a long time, and it's taken a bunch of different forms. I did try to do a novel back in high school, but it wasn't really even...
That wasn't your scene.
That wasn't really... Yeah, I was just like, I'd write like a page and be bored. So
and start doodling in the margins.
Yeah, pretty much. And then when I was doing internships kind of like out of college, and I tried to make it a comic like twice. And that didn't work because I guess I'm just not a comic person. So, yeah, I tried to do that, and then that didn't work. So I have actually some of the old comic pages in here. Like, they're not terrible, but that's what they look like.
Oh, wow.
So, I only really got like maybe 6 pages in both times, so it's pretty much you're gonna see them all like in the next 3 episodes, and then it's done. I won't have any more. But that failed, and I think it's probably because I didn't really devote enough time, because I felt bad if I worked on it, because I was like, I could be going out and trying to get a job, because I was just hunting for jobs constantly, not getting much luck, unfortunately. And then I never really read comics too much. Like, I read The Dreamer, which is a webcomic online, and Spy Lore Innocent. It's really good. So I read that, and I read like the Buffy comics, but didn't really do comics too much, so I didn't really have, like, I guess, a passion for it. And then, like, I always saw Destiny of the March as, like, a TV show or, like, a miniseries, but mostly a TV show. So I pretty much was just, like, at one point I was like, why would I make a comic and then have to then hopefully, if someone's interested in it, do another version of it?
Right.
Yeah, and then I figured if it's, like, already pretty much done, like, a script, and then, like, I have artwork for it, then maybe I could use it as like a pitch book for down the line, trying to get it as a show, because I'm trying to get like a fan base first.
Right.
So I can be like, hey, here's this, and here's like the script, and here's some storyboards and some arts and how it's supposed to look.
And here's all these people who want to see it.
Yeah, here's all these people that want it. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing. And then when I'd draw stuff normally just to doodle whatever from like the series, I would usually be doing like character designs, stuff like that. So I wouldn't really be doing, I guess, comic art. So yeah, plus I'm like a better painter than I am at line art, so it's a little easier for me to paint.
Yeah, it's a whole different style of artwork.
So, and comics just take so freaking long. Like, to get episode 1 done in a comic, it would probably take me like 4 years. Episode 1 done. And I'm like, but I have like probably 12 episodes a season, and I have planned like 5 seasons.
And I was about to ask you, this is episode 1 of season 1. So what's your plan for the Destiny of the Marked series?
Well, hopefully I can get funding on Patreon, and I'm able to continue to do every single season. I'm definitely planned, no matter what, I'm going to finish season 1. But I guess if I just can't continue to do it financially, I might just kind of hold off on it, maybe for season 2 through 5. But I do have planned out in a bunch of documents to do 5 seasons.
Wow!
And about 12 episodes per season.
So you've got your overall story planned.
Yeah, I have like my general arcs planned out. I have, for majority, I have most of the episodes planned out, like what's going to happen in each act for season 1 at least. Then I have my overall acts for the next few seasons and what's going to happen and stuff. So I have the ending already pretty much done.
So there's big plans, and all you need is funding. Come on, people.
Yeah, pretty much. I just need money. Because I have no money. It's really
well, you know, from the book you held up for me, you definitely have developed a really good product. And you self-published this. You didn't go to a big publisher. You did that
I did
all on your lonesome.
It hurt my brain. I think it hurt my brain. I think I finally crashed yesterday. Like, I didn't really stop after I published because I was trying to market it. Then I had the convention, and then I finally crashed like 2 days ago.
And then you're off to the next convention.
Yeah, and then I have another convention in November. It's called CTNX, and it's in Burbank. So it's mostly for animation, but they have a lot of industry people coming there for video games and stuff too.
And
so
you'll
I have a table
have
there.
Stacks of your pitch script with illustrative artwork in it.
Yeah,
ready to go.
I'm like, producers, take it, please. I love you, take it. But yeah, so I have a lot of those happening, and I put the book together. I did all the graphics. I did the cover. I did everything. I put it up on Amazon. I had to deal with figuring out how to do the bleed versus the trim versus the.
Oh yeah.
And it hurt my brain a lot.
Yeah, because that's the stuff I don't have to worry about. I just do straight text.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's easy.
They're like, oh, which your image is going to be slightly cut off. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care.
I know that. I know dealing with CreateSpace, they like to move stuff around so that they protect your image. No. I planned that to be cut off there.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Move it.
No. Well, then I also had an issue when I did 2 proofs to make sure that everything was good. But then by the 3rd time when I was finally like, all right, I got this thing. It's finished. Okay, I figured it out. It's fine. I didn't do a proof for that one because I was like, I don't want to wait. So I got that book and it was messed up in the back. Like once, like if you can see that at all,
right.
It's kind of like a script typewriter font, and it came out and it looked like that particular text was like a dirty typewriter.
Oh.
It was really strange, and so I had to like go through this whole process of being like, hey guys, you screwed up. It wasn't me this time. And eventually they finally figured it out. They're like, oh yeah, it was our processing error. I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah.
Phew.
Yeah, it was you guys. I'm not lying to you. It was you. I'm not trying to take your money. So I had to deal with that, which was super fun.
So now you have how many copies of this special messed up edition that are going to become worth thousands?
Well, technically, I wasn't... Okay, when I ordered the books on CreateSpace, they were like, oh, well, they'll be here like 4 weeks from now. And I'm like, that's weird considering my proof got here in like 1 day and you guys are like not that far from me. But they came here sooner than they were supposed to. So I bought some copies on Amazon. So I sold those 4 copies at San Jose. So those people are the only ones that have the slightly messed up version.
So if you guys are watching this video, hang on to that copy.
And one of those people is James Marsters from Buffy. Because I'm kind of at this stage where I don't care anymore, and I have social anxiety, so I get nervous around anyone. So it doesn't matter if you're an actor or whatever. I don't care. I'm always nervous.
It doesn't matter if you're Spike.
Yeah, I was like, you're Spike, and you're amazing. And here's this book.
Here's this book. Did you sign it for him?
Yeah, I gave him a signed copy, and I just kind of was like, hey, I love your work, and I just keep hearing from all your fans, and they come to my table how nice you are, and I figured, you also wrote one of the comics for Spike, like he wrote something, so I was
nice.
like, there's like one writer to another, like here's a copy of my book. If you have a boring plane ride back home, you can read it. So I don't know if anything's going to happen from that, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to give it to random actors and be like, here.
There you go.
But I didn't want to be like, here, give this to Joss.
Right.
You see him at some point, just give it to him. He's going to be like, what? So he was very nice, but I don't know if anything will come from that. But
you never know. 5 years from now, he'll be like, I finally opened that, and hey.
Yeah. Well, like I have a friend who was also at that convention. He worked on like a new like board game or something. I can't remember the name. It's something weird that I know I will butcher the name. But his father-in-law is actually Mike Roker. So he was like, yeah, you should totally give your book to actors because sometimes they see a role and they're like, I want to play that role, and then they try to help you. So
and then they push for that to get made.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah.
All right. There we
I don't
go.
know if James Marsters would play, but yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'm kind of getting to that point of desperation where I'm like, I don't care.
So what was your decision to self-produce and publish this illustrated script rather than, well, I guess because it's not done, who was going to pick it up?
Yeah.
Right?
Also, I just don't have any connections in the industry, which is why I've never even been able to get like a PA job. I just have no connections. Like, I've met a couple like post-production editors, ironically, that both worked on Buffy.
You're stalking them all.
A little bit. We had to interview some editors for like my class and when I was in film school, and so I just strategically like picked the Buffy editors. I'm stalking Joss from like a middle party.
Yeah. 6 degrees from Josh. I'm making my way closer and closer.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no connections whatsoever. So I'm kind of hoping that eventually I'll accumulate like a fan base enough to be able to get somebody to like a producer to help me like pitch stuff out. Maybe I was thinking like Netflix because I doubt a studio would pick it up.
Netflix is doing some really cool stuff right now.
Yeah, and I like it. Like,
same with Amazon Studios. Yeah, Amazon Studios is also doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah, and then Hulu's doing stuff. Yahoo did a couple of things. They picked up Community for their last season.
Oh, right.
Which is like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, so of all the years, starting now, it just gets better.
Hopefully.
For all of us, because we have so many more choices. Now it's not just Paramount or Warner Brothers or Universal. Those used to be our only choices.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now we have more.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a lot easier to get like a show picked up. So.
And what was your decision to self-publish the book rather than look for a publisher?
Because I have no idea how to even find a publisher, and like I just hear how even harder it is to get a publisher. And plus, it was such like a weird idea that like no one has done before. I'm sure they'd be like, "No, that's weird."
They seem very reticent to try anything new.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many times has J.K. Rowling turned away for Harry Potter? It's just like at least like 30 times or something like that.
Right.
So I'm just like, I feel like I'll just get a headache and I'll get discouraged, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna self-publish it. I can do it. I'll figure it out. It's fine. Like the only thing I haven't figured out is marketing.
And you've made an excellent end product.
Yeah,
the book looks great.
The marketing is hard because I can't seem to get people to see it online because there's just so much stuff online. It just kind of gets buried. So it's kind of hard to figure that out.
Well, that's one of the things I'm doing the Spotlight interview is we've now seen. You held up the book for us. We've seen it. Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I even have like some of the really, really old art. So like some of this stuff is like right when I started learning Photoshop.
Ah.
So like this is like one of the very first. Oh wait, where's my finger going?
I know, I can never figure which way my finger goes.
All right, so this one right here is like one of the very first digital paintings I ever did. So it's crap. But like I don't even know what some of the background stuff is. It looks like sewage. Like it's very strange. But yeah, so I have like some of the old stuff, and I talk about how the story even came to really existence and how it became what it is today, which is because of really crappy things that happened in life. So, yeah.
Very nice. So you also wrote the script for it. I know that we've been talking all about you being as an artist, an illustrator, a doodler, extraordinaire. And what about the writing of it? You said you started to write the novel, you get about a page in, you get bored, so you said, I see this more as a television series. Yeah,
I've always, like when I imagine a series, for the most part, it's usually as a television show or a movie. But I did film school, so I learned how to write in script format, and that I found was the easiest way to do it because instead of having a chapter and you're like, I don't know where this part is in this chapter, and I don't know what's happening, I'm just like, okay, find scene 2. Oh, right, interior. Okay, fine, got it. So that's just kind of like the way that I learned to write. So usually when I write, I'll write in a script anyway. So
that's your first go-to format for writing out a story idea?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I pretty much every time I have an idea, I'll jot it on like my phone or a piece of paper or on my computer, and then usually if I actually sit down and write a story, it'll be usually in a script. So
the brain works in script format. Excellent.
It works in a movie format, like a giant Family Guy breakaway kind of way thing. It's pretty much my brain.
You versus the chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, so and plus I just always saw the series as a TV show, so that's pretty much how I wrote it for the most part.
So you've had this first the first major idea floating around in your head continually. So you really haven't had any writer's block when writing your script out, or did you?
No, I've had tons of writer's block. Like I would write a lot on it, and then I would take like 3 months away from it, and then and just like it until this really last year, I didn't really have like a set direction of what I was doing. It was kind of just like a hobby, kind of. I'll get there eventually. So that's also probably why I didn't like succeed to actually being done until now. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of writer's block problems. A lot harder for me than art writer's block, because if I'm doing art stuff, I can do little teeny thumbnails and just do all crazy where you have no idea what the heck it is when you look back later. So I can just doodle out until something happens. But with writing, I'm like,
You're too worried about it.
Yeah.
You're not just going to go for it.
Yeah, I was always like, this has been done before. Oh my God, wait, that's stupid. Oh my God, no one would say that.
Oh no, I've seen this episode before.
Yeah, and then, or I'll be like writing something, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then I'll just kind of be like chilling and watching an episode of Supernatural. I'm like, dang it, they did it.
They stole my idea and I just wrote it. How did they do that?
I actually kept having that happen with a version of it a couple years ago, and I was watching Vampire Diaries because it was like a guilty pleasure. And they did some stuff in their like season finales, and I was like, son of a... that was totally my idea, and then they did it already. Dang it. Oh well.
Inspired from or stolen from?
So it seems like whenever sometimes I would have a good idea, someone had already done it or was doing it, and then I'd find out, I'm like, no! That was a good idea, I really liked that one, and then you guys did it.
It's like, curse you!
Yeah, I think it's also probably because some of the things, like, I'm trying to go far back into, like, mythology and, like, taking stuff from that. And I think that's also what other people are doing so it just kind of naturally just happens that you get the same idea.
It naturally evolves to the same result.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm... I was like,
So, 10 years to the first book.
Yeah.
Okay, George R.R. Martin, how long till we see the second one from you?
It'll definitely be a lot quicker, because the first one I think is going to be by far the hardest, because I had to figure out what the heck I was going to do. So now that I have my format down, and I was actually trying to do 2 episodes into one, since the first episode is actually like, it was a TV show, you'd have
a 2-parter pilot.
Yeah, 2-parter pilot. So the second one already has a rough draft, and I have like half the art already finished because I was trying to get it into one book. So it's probably, I'm hoping sometime in spring.
Well, you definitely have to look me up in spring and say, I want to promote my book again on the show.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be done in spring, and I just have to kind of go, I made the schedule recently, so hopefully it'll be out in like, I'm shooting for the end of April, beginning of May. So that's right around like WonderCon, so maybe I won't be able to do that. I don't know. Kind of see what I have to like sit down and see exactly what art I have to do, what I want to change on the script, because I didn't quite like the ending of it. So yeah. So it'll be a lot quicker than this one, by positive.
So we won't have to wait another 10 years to get episode 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it just took so long because like I didn't know what I was doing, and now I feel more comfortable with my writing and my art. So I feel like before I also kind of felt like I wasn't quite there, so like I wouldn't like something, and I'm like, I don't want to make it when at the level I am now, because I'll hate it. Absolutely hate it. I'll just try to kill it. Like later, I'm like, why did you exist? Why did I make you now?
Erase.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd be like, oh no, I want to redo all of it. So I think now I'm actually finally at a level where I'm comfortable and as a professional. So that's why another reason I think I might have waited this long, and also. Like, it deals with a lot of stuff, like, experiences, like I had my mom die when I was 19, and then that's kind of one of the issues that's happening in this series, especially in season 1.
So you bring a lot of yourself into the story.
Yeah, so this is the only story where I have, like, a lot of personal stuff. Like, the main character is a lot like me, her brother is a lot like my brother. But that is the only story that I will write that will have that in there, because it only exists because of that stuff. So, like, when she was really sick and she died, I needed like this outlet. So that's the reason I never changed the way Estelle thought or spoke or what she liked, because it's like so close to me. Other people might think that's vain, but it was really just because the story was originally an outlet for that kind of stuff. So I was like, it didn't feel right when I tried to change it. So I just was like, you know what? People can think what they want.
Let's just let it happen organically, naturally, and make it a good, powerful story.
Yeah. So like in like the version of like the script I had maybe like even 3 or 4 years ago was a lot closer to real life, like events that happened and like people that were in it. So I changed it a lot more since then. So it's a little more, I guess I distanced myself a little bit from it. So it's a little bit easier to write.
Right.
So, and it's more interesting. So before I was just like, and okay, this is special, I guess.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now you throw in all the magic and it gets exciting.
Supernatural stuff, yeah. And race and portals and murders and stuff.
Sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would watch it. I'd put it in the queue with Supernatural.
It goes from like really depressing real world stuff to like, yeah, supernatural real world like stuff, and it's like, yay, oh, yay, oh. So it's like, why don't bring me down? This was cool.
Yeah. This is fiction. We should be having fun.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. My aunt has kind of been my salesperson to like my family, which is cool because I've been getting a lot of sales through her. But I'm also like, I'm gonna have a lot of family members like email me or like message me on Facebook, be like, "Do you need to talk?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine."
I'm fine. I got it all written down.
It's fine. And no, I'm not saying I hate my brother. No, that's not what I'm saying.
We're trying to figure out where that line blurs between reality and fantasy here.
Yeah, it's kind of like part of it was like I don't know how to describe this, but like sometimes I would basically take, for like the brother character, for instance. He's a lot like my brother, so my brother is kind of like the main structure of that character, but then I took other stuff and like fears and anxieties and like things that I liked from other characters and personalities and stuff that would work better with the plot, and I kind of like built up that character. So he's kind of like if you do a sculpture, he's like the structure.
Right. He's just the wireframe.
Yeah, he's just the wireframe for that. So that's why I'm just like, I gotta make sure everybody understands that. And like, I gave him the book, and he like looked at the back, and he saw like how much he kind of looks like him, and he was like, "Huh, okay."
Thanks a lot, sis.
I was like, "Yeah, have bigger reaction than that, please." Does he look like anyone to you? No.
He's you made me look a little kind of like Nathan Fillion. Thanks.
I think somebody thought that he kind of reminded them of like the guy from X-Files.
Oh, David Duchovny?
Yeah. I haven't really watched the show that much, but he's like the main guy, and I was like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Sure, okay, if you want to think it's like X-Files. I don't have aliens, but all right.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Destiny the Unmarked Episode 1 is now available on Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
And both in Kindle and paperback, but looking at what you've done, I highly, highly, highly suggest you pick it up on paperback.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get it in bleeding color.
Yeah.
And everything where it should be.
And I made it like so it wasn't so big, so you can easily put it in your bag. Like
right.
It's not that big. It's only
$6.99. Carry it around, read it. Definitely put it on the coffee table.
Yeah, and I also have an Etsy shop I just reopened because I am selling signed copies. So it's going to be the same price as Amazon, but plus shipping to wherever the heck you are. So like somebody, I sent it to Australia, and they had like $16 for shipping versus like somewhere else in California is like $2.
Right.
So, yeah. I made it up on my Etsy shop, so I reopened my Etsy shop because before I was just being like, oh, just email me, and then we'll do it through PayPal. But I think it might be scaring people to actually get it from the author. So I have the barrier of Etsy to buy that now.
There you go. So the trust that Etsy has.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. So yeah, so you'll send me that link, and I'll include it into the description as well, so that people can go and get a signed copy of your paperback.
Yeah, because maybe it'll be worth something someday.
It will definitely be worth something someday.
Yeah, maybe. I even put that in like the introduction. I'm like, maybe this will go somewhere and it'll be super awesome and I'll be doing Comic-Con panels and we'll make it a TV show. Or I could just be like sitting at home still living with my dad at the age of 40 and like crying because I never went anywhere.
Smearing the pages with tears.
I hope not. I'll be very disappointed in myself. Oh, man.
All good stuff. All good stuff. All right. So, is there anything, before we wind up the interview here, of what you would like people to know about you? Surprise! I'm sure we've covered it all, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I see you've got behind you, you've got is that your artwork that you've done?
Besides like the Buffy comic thing, everything else is mine. Yeah, I'm trying to make like a sign for like a book stand sign, so I had to like whip out my old backing board. So I'm gonna like destroy it, and then I found that I still had artwork pasted to it for like a school project. So I was just like, I'll just put it in the background, and then like that's my Destiny of the Mark sign. So yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. So you got your own posters up.
Yeah, I have like the Edward Potter parody poster. I made them all sign it, and we played like a drinking game a couple years ago.
Oh, nice!
Our own movie.
Well, you watched an episode.
And I'm like, I think we're gonna get alcohol poisoning, so everybody pick a role, and you memorize it, and then we'll do it. So everyone was a little bit drunk afterwards, and then they signed the poster.
Excellent.
So they kind of just drew on it at one point.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So we had fun chatting with you today, Nicole.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for being on the ODNT Spotlight and having the spotlight shine down on you and all your work. Definitely, everyone, check out Nicole's Patreon, Destiny of the Mark page, hashtag Funding Destiny.
Yeah.
And everything. So I'm going to go ahead and don't hang up on me yet, Nicole. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the interview, and then we'll come back and chat for a little bit more. So cool. I'll be right back. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It was great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so there it is. Destiny of the Marked, Season 1, Episode 1 of her new illustrated script series. And from what we talked about, this sounds really good. And I tell you, when I looked at the listings on Amazon, boy, it really did not do that book justice. When she held it up in the paperback, my jaw dropped. That thing is really, really cool. So definitely check out the link down below. If you're watching it again on embedded video site, just click the little button down here that says watch on YouTube, and then you can click on the links that I have in the description for you. But thank you very much to Nicole Ales for joining us today for ODNT Spotlight. For all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We have many more authors and artists and illustrators and actors and publishers and just about anybody who creates something or has a passion for something I get to have on my show. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.